Welcome to all of you in this lecture. In this lecture we will define composition of two group homomorphisms, and we will see that the set of all automorphisms of a group forms a group with respect to composition of maps. Now let us start. Suppose G1O1, G2O2 and G3O3 are three groups. Take an element F in home G1, G2. This simply means that F is a group homomorphism from G1 to G2. Similarly, take G, an element from home G2, G3. That is, G is a group homomorphism from G2 to G3. Now, we will define the composition of these two maps. Note that for composition, the codomain of one map and domain of another map should be equal. So we can define the composition of map FOG as a map from G1 to G3 such that for each x in G1, FOG applied on x is equal to F applied on x first, and then whatever you will get, that will be an element of G2, and then G is applied on that. I am reading it as FOG because F is applied first and G is applied afterwards. So FOG is called the composition of maps F and G. So composition is not always possible. It is possible if the codomain of first map is equal to the domain of second map. Now the question is that if F is a group homomorphism and G is a group homomorphism, then is this map is a group homomorphism? So because this map is from G1 to G3, so we will check that whether FOG is a group homomorphism from G1 to G3 or not. So take two elements from G1. Now FOG is applied on X, O1, Y. By definition of composition of map, F is applied on X, O1, Y first and then G is applied on it. Because F is a group homomorphism, so we can write it as Fx, O2, Fy. Now Fx and Fy are elements of G2 and G is a group homomorphism. So now by definition of group homomorphism, we can apply G on both of these elements and the between operation will be the operation of G3. So G Fx and G Fy is here. If you want, you can write it like this also. Now by definition of composition of map, this element can be written as FOG applied on X and this element can be written as FOG applied on Y. So as you can see that this shows that FOG is a group homomorphism from G1 to G3. So this simply means that if F is a group homomorphism and G is a group homomorphism, then FOG is also a group homomorphism. So composition of two group homomorphisms, if possible, then it is also a group homomorphism, if possible because the codomain of first map should be equal to the domain of second map. So composition of two homomorphisms, if possible, is again a homomorphism. Now moreover, if you take F and G to be bijective, then it is not hard to see that FOG will also be a bijective map. So it means composition of two isomorphisms, if possible, is again an isomorphism. So if G1 is isomorphic to G2, this means there is a bijective map from here to here, you can call it F. And if G2 is isomorphic to G3, then there is a bijective map, you can call it G. Then G1 is also isomorphic to G3 because as we have seen there is a bijective map FOG. So it means if two groups are isomorphic, if G1 is isomorphic to G2 and G2 is isomorphic to G3, then G1 is also isomorphic to G3. Now this simply means that if you take the set of all homomorphisms from G to G, that is if you take G1 is equal to G2 and G2 is also equal to G3. So all the three groups are same. So it means all the maps are from G to G. So F and G are the maps from G to G, that is F and G are the elements of int G. Then the composition of two elements of int G is again an element of int G, and similarly as we have seen for isomorphism, if these three groups are equal, then composition of two isomorphisms is again an isomorphism because the groups are same, so we will call this isomorphism as automorphism. So composition of two automorphisms is again an automorphism. So this composition of maps O is actually a binary operation on odd G and int G. Int G is the set of all endomorphisms on G, and odd G is the set of all automorphisms on G. So you may say that int G O and odd G O, these two are actually groupoid because O is a binary operation. O means composition of maps. Now further, suppose I take a map F from G1 to G2 and this is an isomorphism. So isomorphism means it is a bijective map, so there will be an inverse of F, and that inverse of F is G2 to inverse map will be from G2 to G1. And if you will compose F inverse with F, then you will get identity of G2. I means identity map on G2, and if you will compose F with FO F inverse, then you will get identity of G1. So if you want to recall identity map, then you can see the example 2 on the lecture 10a. So this is one thing is clear, that F inverse is also bijective, but the thing is that is this inverse map is also a group homomorphism. So we are now going to prove this. Take xy in G2. Since F is an isomorphism, so there exists AB in G such that FA is equal to X and FB is equal to Y. So I have written F is an isomorphism, but for showing this thing, the only thing which I am using is the onto-ness of this map. So because F is an isomorphism, so F will be onto. So F is onto, it means for given xy in G2 there exists the pre-image, suppose A and B. But for writing this line, I am using one property of this map, that is injectivity of this map. So for writing these two lines, only the bijectivity is used. So A can be written as F inverse of X and B can be written as F inverse of Y. Now we want to show that F inverse belongs to G2 to G1. So F inverse of X O2 Y, because it is from G2, so I have taken two elements X, Y in G2, and now composition of G2, so F inverse of X O2 Y. Now what is X? X is FA, so we write FA here, and O2, and Y is FB, so we write FB here. Now F is a group homomorphism, so in place of FA, O2, FB, we can write F of A O1B. Now as we have seen that F composed, this is just nothing but F composed with F inverse, and F composed with F inverse is an identity map, so we will finally get A O1B. But A can be written as F inverse of X from here, and B can be written as F inverse of Y. So this simply means that F inverse of X O2Y is equal to F inverse of X O1 F inverse of Y. So it means F inverse belongs to whom? G1, G2. So if F is an isomorphism, then F inverse is also an isomorphism. So if G1 is isomorphic to G2, suppose it is isomorphic via the map F, then G2 you can also say that isomorphic to G1 by the map F inverse. So you can apply F inverse here. Suppose I take G1 is equal to G2 is equal to G, and then F is an odd G, that is F is an isomorphism from G to G. Then F inverse is also an isomorphism from G to G, that is called the automorphism. So if F is an automorphism of G, then F inverse is also an automorphism of G. And in the previous lecture example 2, we have identity map in the set of automorphisms of G. Then it means that this odd G with respect to composition of map, it has identity element for this composition of map, and it also has inverse for each and every element. So odd G will become a group if we show that O is an associative operation. So the question is this composition of maps is an associative operation? So suppose I take Fg as 3 elements in the G. Then for any x in G, what is the value of this composition? So HO GOF applied x on it. Then by the definition of this composition, we can write it as F applied on HOG applied on x. Then by the definition of this composition, we can write it as Hx, G is applied on it, and then F is applied on it. Similarly, for this part, HO GOF applied on x, we can write it as, by the definition of this composition, this is GOF and in bracket Hx. And now by the definition of this composition, we can write it like this. So from 1 and 2, you can see that both are equal. It means this element is same as this element for all x in G. But this is one map and this is another map. And if two maps are same for each elements of G, it means both the maps are actually equal. Okay, once again, these are two maps and its value at each point of G are same. So it means that both the maps are same. So it means composition is an associative operation. So because composition is an associative operation, so it means odd G with respect to composition of map is a group, because associativity is there, it has identity element, and it also has inverse. Similarly, in the G, as we have seen, it was the groupoid, and because O is associative, so it is a semi-group. But identity map also belongs to int G, so it is a semi-group with identity. So we can say that int G with respect to this operation is a monad. So thank you to all of you. We will meet soon with more things on this group homomorphism. Thank you till then.